Moving on to our next story. In the first such bailout of its kind since the coronavirus pandemic began, the German government has reportedly agreed to a $10 billion bailout plan for its flagship carrier Lufthansa. Now, reports say that the agreed deal will be a three-stage model involving a total of $9.88 billion, including a $3.5 billion loan from the state-owned KfW Bank. In addition, the government will take a direct stake of 20% in Lufthansa and a convertible bond worth 5%. Now, the German government will also gain 2 seats on the company's supervisory board. Around 90% of Lufthansa's regular flights have been grounded for several weeks amid the pandemic, resulting into losses worth millions of dollars an hour. Around 700 Lufthansa's aircraft are currently parked at airports. More than 80,000 of its 130,000 staff are also now on part-time work schemes. Now, we are being joined live on the line by Clifford Kuhnen, the Deutsche Welle business correspondent. For more on this, welcome to you and thank you for being with us. The German government has reportedly agreed to a $10 billion bailout plan. This is a big number. What is the latest you have for us?
Well, that's correct. It looks very much like this is going to go ahead now. This is a very important, it has a very important symbolic element because Lufthansa is such a big symbol of the German economy. It's so important to people. It's a very recognizable emblem of Germany internationally. And also, of course, economically, it's a very important company within the economy. It's a huge employer, as you pointed out. There's 130,000 people. 80,000 of those have been on short-time work for the duration of this, and the airline was running out of cash. It had very few cash reserves left, so the government had to step in. So it's a major development and something that's welcomed, and in some ways it's also a positive sign as we do slowly emerge out of the pandemic here in Germany, although obviously it's an awful lot of $10 billion is a lot of money, and so there's a lot of issues still to be discussed.
Absolutely. And this, of course, Germany is the first country to announce such a move. Have you heard any reports of other European countries following suit as they lift and begin to ease the coronavirus lockdowns?
Well, we're seeing that there's greater coordination now between, between France and Germany, for example, where the companies have, where the governments have been cooperating more on bailouts and on coming up with deals to help rescue companies. We'll be looking at the car sector for movement. We're seeing that Volkswagen, for example, is slowly restarting its production here in Germany. We're going to see a lot more moves to introduce European champions, big companies in Europe that will really stand out and promote the whole European ideal. I think a meeting earlier this week we had Chancellor Merkel and President Macron of France, and they issued a European bailout bond. So I think that we're going to see much more European cooperation and an effort as we come out of the pandemic to show greater unity on a European level.
Right, and in addition, the government will be taking a stake of 20% in Lufthansa and, as you said, the convertible bond. If these plans go ahead, this will be the first time that this has happened since 1997.
That's right. It's a big move, and it's obviously a controversial move. There was a lot of discussion, you recall, around the time of the global financial crisis about how losses were nationalised and profits were always privatised. So people are going to be closely watching to make sure that this isn't a bailout and that as soon as it's over that it just goes straight back to being a private company without there being any consequences. A lot of people are going to want to see that this is done in a very sustainable way, in a way that's meaningful for the German government and obviously for the German taxpayer, because it's all coming out of taxpayers' money. So I think it's going to be, it's not going to be without hiccups as people want to see, to make sure they're getting value for money, that this isn't just a bailout at any cost, that it has to be done in a sustainable and a meaningful way.
Clifford, thank you very much for being with us. That's Clifford Kuhnen, our Deutsche Welle business correspondent, joining us for the latest on the German bailout of the Lufthansa.